72 hours. That's how long a harvested banana can sit in a room changing color and chemistry before it's considered ready to eat. But before it ever reaches your hand as a chewy dried snack, that banana has survived machetes, giant washing drums, industrial dryers, and a race against time. Most of us see dried banana slices as just another snack on the shelf. Behind that simple bag, companies like Chiquita are coordinating plantations, harvest teams, ripening chambers, and processing lines that can handle millions of bananas a year. Today, we're going inside that journey, from the moment a bunch is cut from the plant, to the second a sealed pouch of dried banana drops off the packing line. If you enjoy seeing how everyday foods are really made, remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next factory deep dive. Everything starts in the heat and humidity of the plantation. Banana plants aren't trees, they're giant herbs, and each one gives only a single large bunch before it's cut down. Workers walk the rows at dawn, scanning the hanging clusters. They're looking for a very specific stage. The fruit must be fully developed, but still green and firm. Too early and the bananas will never ripen correctly. Too late, and they bruise and rot before they can be dried. Once a bunch is chosen, the harvest team moves with practiced choreography. One worker shoulders a padded carrier, another takes a machete, and with a single precise cut, the heavy bunch, often 30 to 50 kilos, drops into his arms. It's not a gentle process, but it has to be controlled. Any deep bruise now will show up later as a dark, bitter spot in the dried slices. The bunch is hooked onto an overhead cable system and sent slowly down a line that snakes through the plantation, turning a field of scattered plants into a continuous conveyor toward the packing facility. Inside the reception area, the bananas are no longer just fruit on a plant. They are raw material. Workers remove the big outer leaves and the central stem, separating the bunch into hands and then into individual fingers. This is where visual inspection starts in earnest. Bananas with deformities, insect damage, or open cuts are pulled out. For fresh export, the standards are brutal. Only the most perfect fruit survives. For drying, the rules are different, but not looser. The fruit must be structurally sound with no deep damage that could harbor mold or bacteria during dehydration. Next comes the wash. The bananas float in long stainless steel channels filled with treated water. Gentle agitation removes latex, dust, and any remaining field debris. This step is crucial. Any contamination left on the peel can be transferred to the edible pulp once the fruit is opened. In many facilities, workers in aprons and gloves stand along the channels, guiding the flow, checking for defects, and separating bananas by size. Large uniform bananas are ideal for making consistent dried slices. Smaller or irregular ones might be diverted to purees or other products. Here's the twist. At this point, the bananas are still green. To be pleasant as a dried snack, they must first pass through a controlled ripening process. Instead of leaving them to chance in a warehouse, the fruit is loaded into special ripening rooms. Airtight chambers where temperature, humidity, and gas composition are manipulated with precision. Over the next 72 to 96 hours, the bananas absorb carefully dosed ethylene, the natural plant hormone that triggers ripening. Inside each fruit, starches break down into sugars. Acids mellow and the color shifts from green to yellow. Too little time, and the dried banana will be starchy and bland. Too much, and it turns mushy, impossible to slice cleanly and prone to fermentation. When the ripening window is just right, the clock starts ticking faster. Ripe bananas are fragile. For dried snacks, they must be processed while the pulp is sweet and aromatic, but still firm enough to handle. Crates of yellow bananas roll from the ripening room straight into the processing hall. Here, the peel finally comes off. Depending on the line, this can be done by hand, workers snapping off the ends and stripping the peel in one motion, or by semi-automatic peelers that score and separate the skin. Every peeled banana is again inspected. Any with internal bruising or dark spots are removed or trimmed, because those defects intensify during drying. Now the transformation into a snack begins. Bananas are fed onto cutting machines that slice them into uniform rounds or lengthwise strips depending on the product. Thickness is carefully controlled. Too thin, and the slices become brittle and burn. Too thick, and they stay leathery and moist in the center. A perfect environment for microbes. The fresh slices are pale and sticky, so they're often given a quick dip in a solution, like lemon or ascorbic acid. This reduces enzymatic browning, helps preserve color, and adds a subtle layer of protection against oxidation. From there, the slices spread out onto wide perforated trays or continuous mesh belts, forming a single layer. They enter the heart of the factory, the drying tunnels. These are long insulated chambers where hot air flows over and through the fruit. Temperatures and airflow are tuned so that water escapes steadily without cooking the banana. Over several hours, sometimes in multiple stages, the slices lose the majority of their moisture. Their weight drops dramatically. Their texture shifts from soft to chewy, and their flavor concentrates. The natural sugars become more pronounced, giving dried bananas their intense sweetness without any need for added sugar. Throughout this drying phase, operators constantly monitor conditions. Sensors track temperature and humidity. Sample trays are weighed to measure moisture loss. If the air is too hot, the surface of the slice hardens and traps moisture inside. If it's too cool or too humid, the process slows, inviting spoilage. The goal is a precise final moisture content, low enough to be shelf-stable for months, but high enough to keep that satisfying chew. Once the target is reached, the trays exit the tunnel and the slices are allowed to cool because sealing warm fruit in plastic can create unwanted condensation. Cooled dried bananas move to sorting and quality control. Here, workers and optical systems check color, size, and texture. Over-dried pieces that are too dark or brittle are discarded or reworked. Under-dried pieces are rejected to avoid mold risk. Metal detectors and sometimes X-ray scanners inspect the product for any foreign objects. For a global brand like Chiquita, a single stray fragment of metal or plastic can mean a recall, so this stage is non-negotiable. Only slices that meet strict specifications continue to packaging. Packaging is where the snack finally looks familiar. Precise amounts of dried banana, often 30, 50, or 100 grams, are weighed automatically and dropped into pre-formed pouches or formed on the line bags. The packaging material is not just decoration. It's engineered to block oxygen, light, and moisture, all of which can degrade flavor and texture. Before the bag is sealed, the air inside may be flushed with nitrogen, pushing out oxygen to slow down oxidation and preserve the natural yellow-brown tones of the fruit. High-speed sealers close the bags in a fraction of a second, and printers add batch codes and best before dates that trace each pack back through the entire process, all the way to the ripening room and even the plantation lot. Sealed bags ride along conveyors to case packers, where machines or workers arrange them into cardboard boxes. These boxes are stacked on pallets, wrapped in plastic film and labeled for distribution. From here, the dried bananas can travel thousands of kilometers without refrigeration, arriving in supermarkets, vending machines, and lunchboxes far from the tropical fields where they began. Every step, from the 72 to 96 hours in ripening chambers to the carefully controlled dehydration, has been designed to turn a fragile, short-lived fresh fruit into a stable, portable snack that still tastes like a banana, just more intense. The real revelation is how little is added and how much is controlled. That chewy slice in your hand is mostly just banana and time, guided by technology. The factory doesn't replace the fruit, it protects it, shapes it, and stretches its life far beyond the few days a fresh banana has on your counter. Behind the simplicity of a dried banana snack lies a complex choreography of harvest timing, ripening science, and thermal engineering, all tuned to keep flavor, texture, and safety in balance. If you want to see how another everyday snack is engineered for crunch, flavor, and shelf life, the next step is the potato. Inside a modern potato chip factory, the same logic, selection, slicing, controlled heat, and airtight packaging, plays out in a completely different way. That story connects the dots between fruit tubers and the science of snacking. See you there.